Alright, Sparty's back. Welcome, guys. Today, I'm going to be having a look at a video that I put out just the other day called The Single Best Win Condition in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And I put this video out without much in the description, without really saying much about it, other than sort of like the difficulty of it and should this be banned was a question that I popped at the end of the description. And since then, I've seen some discussion in, say, Tampa Never Sleeps chat. I saw some people discuss, I think it even, I think I put this out pre-Evo. I think I saw some people in the Evo chat talking about it. In the latest Tampa Never Sleeps, Liberal Terminator was trying to execute it in bracket, trying to hit it against decent players in parsec delay, which, you know, it's not training mode. It's decent to play in, but it's not training mode. And he was trying to hit it there, and a lot of questions sort of been asked in Discords as well. The UMvC main Discord run by Obama. That Discord, I've seen a few times pop up people asking questions about. So if you could hit the Spencer Zipfinite, how good would Spencer be? What tier would he be in? These kinds of questions, like, is it practical? So first of all, what is it? So here's the video. I'll just keep it running in the background here. The Zipfinite's been known for 8-9 years. Rubek's made the only sort of tournament execution of it where he did this in tournament. He had Spencer as his second character, and I think he set this up off a scroll assist call whilst he was already getting a hit with Spencer. And he went into this Infinite, and he's the only player I've ever seen do it in tournament for the full duration of the round. I think there was about 60 seconds left in the round, which is about 2 minutes in real time. He executed that for 2 minutes. Now, it's just zip, 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 super jump, zip, 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 super jump, zip, zip, down, forward, zip. It's a really simple Infinite, and it looks very easy. However, it's quite difficult to execute consistently over a long period of time, which is what's required, of course. 99 Marvel seconds is 3 minutes, effectively, 180 seconds. So, is this good? The answer is yes, it's extremely good, extremely good. Why is it good, though? So what's normally good in Marvel? If you take one of the best teams in the game, something like Zero, Doom, Virgil, good in this game is Zero hits your first character, you die, and your second character comes in, and that's your first chance to then survive. Your second character gets hit on the welcome with a extremely strong, extremely layered, ambiguous setup, possibly leading into an unblockable. Your second character dies. You then get your second chance when your final character comes in. You get your second chance. So it's 3 characters, and you basically get hit the first time in neutral or at the round start, and then you have 2 chances to survive. That is good. That is ideal in Marvel. There are certain characters who go outside of that, and potentially if your team is not good enough and doesn't have any options, characters like Firebrand or maybe Viper have unblockable setups where your characters will get hit and then you don't get a chance. You don't get a chance to play because maybe you play some characters without options, without invulnerable options, so on and so forth. So you might need to change your team entirely to beat that. But here we have Spencer, who, I mean, by all means, is a good character. He does a lot of damage. He's a great damage engine. He has some fantastic setups to guard break characters falling in with his command grabs. He's got some ambiguous setups with his zip cross-up. I see some Mundank, a Liberal Terminator footage for that type of thing. He's a decent character, A tier, something around there. Certainly, he is not a top tier character, though. Some people would even argue he's sort of like a B tier character. But, in essence, he has an Infinite, which, as you see here, wastes the entire time of the round. So, if it's good to hit a character, kill the next character, and give them 2 chances only, well, in this case, this is great. This is game-breaking, meta-defining. This is endgame because specifically, no anchor gets played here. Like, look at this. We're looking at a composition like Virgil, Doom, Strider. Well, normally you'd have to consider, right, okay, so I want to kill Virgil, hit Doom, snap Strider, and then kill Doom. That gives your opponent 3 chances. If it was something like Zero, Doom, Virgil, I've got to hit Zero, and maybe I'll snap Virgil straight away. And that gives them 3 chances. So in this case, it doesn't matter if he's got Virgil in the back, Dark Phoenix in the back, Strider in the back. It doesn't matter what the anchor is here. There are no chances, absolutely 0 chances here. Magneto, one of the best point characters in the game, up there with Zero and Morrigan as probably the 3 top point characters in the game, gets a throw on you, or gets a scaled hit, or gets a hit that's maybe with some lights that he can scale, tags in Spencer. Spencer hasn't had to do the work here. Yeah, either he will serve, if you do a lot of damage, as a damage-dealing damage engine for the DHC into his 80k, or alternatively, he serves to go into an infinite, which ends the game. If you are able to execute this, it will straight up just end the game. So you have a top 3 point character in Magneto with a choice of top tier assists from, say, Dr. Doom. I've simply used Mag Spencer Doom because Mag Doom is a tried and true pairing, and if you use something like Plasma Beam with Spencer, which he loves, you've then got at least a backup plan. You've got an assist which works extremely well for Spencer. So here we've got a top 3 point character able to then transition into an infinite, which is game breaking in the sense that the other person doesn't get a chance to play. They don't get 2 chances. They don't get to guess the mix-up. There is no mix-up. Your character's dead. Your anchor doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you've got like X Factor level 3 stocked up with Dark Strider, Dark Virgil, Dark Phoenix, whatever it might be. It doesn't matter. The game is over at this point, provided that this is executed perfectly. So, yeah, it's extremely good if executed perfectly. Now, that is the question here. How difficult is this? And I'm going to go out on a limb and say it takes extreme execution skill. Someone like Rubex has fantastic execution, but also concentration. To use this in a tournament setting, with everything going on around you, all the screaming and cheering, and if this was to become a consistent thing that happened, top 8, people doing this over and over again, there would be a lot of heckling, booing, a lot of pressure on that person doing it. It's extremely difficult to get a lot of reps of this. So you can get a few reps in fairly easily. And full disclosure, I recorded this using a tool-assisted combo. I used a task for this because specifically I can't execute this for 99 seconds. It's extremely taxing. And I know for a fact I would have tried recording this video and got 80 seconds in and dropped it and then just been fuming with myself. So the degree of difficulty, it's not the hardest thing in the world. There are harder things to execute, but it is the consistency with which you need to manage their height, manage your timing, never mess up the grapple input. And you can do that, you can mitigate that using an X Factor button. You can just hold down a button like H and then just press the X Factor button. You won't get X Factor, it will just do a zip for you because the most prioritized sequence is H and S or M and S or whatever sequence it is to get the zip. So compared to other point infinites, this is easier in a sort of similar time frame, but over a long period of time, like 99 Marvel seconds, 3 minutes, it's extremely difficult for me to say that this is something which is tourney viable. I'd like to see this taken to its extreme, and maybe someone like Liberal Terminator is going to do it. Maybe some other Spencers are going to take up the mantle here, or some other people who see the potential in this. The point is, though, I suppose you need a Magneto, because I don't think, like, Morrigan can't tag to Spencer with this, and I don't think there's any way for Zero to tag into Spencer for this. So this is a Magneto-specific thing. Otherwise, you can play some other point characters and tag into this, but none of those other point characters are going to be as good as Magneto. So, to my knowledge, only one person's ever done it. That's Rubex. Much credit to them. There's no one else who's managed to do this for more than I don't know, a short amount of time. If this was to be made tournament standard, and a lot of games, a lot of tournaments started being won, big sets being won, if you're beating Ray with this because you got a grab at 99 seconds, like, is that something which we would see reach a point where people are saying this needs to be banned? Because, I mean, if you look at this, I've been talking over this video 3 times round now. 3 matches that look like this, let's say perfect scenario, it's 3 games straight that get won like this in a first to 3, best of 5. Well, that's 9 minutes of staring at this. And if without someone as handsome as me, as charismatic, with such a lovely voice speaking to you, I mean, I'm afraid to say that this would probably be extremely boring and reach the point of, if this was efficiently done in enough top 8s, in enough important sets, in enough sets on stream, that it would just be banned on the basis of being boring as hell. There's a certain element of hype to it, definitely, and if I saw this in tournament, I'd be hype as hell to see it. It'd be 8 years since I saw this in tournament. But show this to me 10 times and I'm pretty much done with it, I think, potentially. So I think potentially the community might argue that, yeah, it is actually an incredible feat, and for a while that incredible feat would be respected for what it is, and I think it would still be respected, but also then for the sake of viewership, for the sake of the community enjoying the game, this is something that reaches a borderline for me. In my opinion, I think it would be better for the game for this not to really exist. It's just the fact that it is possible. It's physically executable, but will it be executed? And that's the question. Will this become the end of Marvel as we know it, or alternatively, will this just fizzle out and the fad of people trying to do this over and over again will end because people keep dropping it? It's hard to say. Potentially, Spencer could be one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. He could be the end game of Marvel, and that's where the end of this video comes then. So thank you guys. If you appreciate this type of content, please leave me a comment below on what sort of things you'd like me to discuss in future. Leave me a like, hit that subscribe button if you aren't already, and that's time over, baby. Right, see you guys, have a good day.